Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So as promised, I decided to make a video stating or basically explaining what happened and what caused me to fail my second semester. Well, not the complete semester, but 2 out of the 3 classes for my second semester. So if you're interested, go ahead and stick around. So guys, let's start off with failing my first semester. I failed my first semester. I only had 2 classes. Well, the first time around I actually was taking 4 classes. I was taking pharmacology 1, I was taking nursing 1, I was taking A&P 2 with the lab and the lecture. I came from major in biology, a bachelor's in biology, and it was not something that I really wanted to do. I just was told by a high school counselor that if I wanted to go to medical school, biology was the way to go. Really didn't enjoy biology in high school, so I don't know why she would send me into biology. But long story short, I was able to take some college courses in my junior and senior year in high school, so that when I got into actual college after I graduated, I was already considered a sophomore with how many credit hours I had. Then it took about maybe 1 more semester before I was done with all of my general ed courses. So now I was considered a junior. Then I transferred to an actual university coming from a community college, and that's where pretty much everything kind of fell apart for me. I was not very good at studying because in high school they go over the material so many times that literally that was my kind of studying. If it's repeated and repeated and repeated for me, I catch on really quickly. And it sticks if it's repeated like that for me. So I really didn't have to study. Plus I was in so many clubs and so many after school activities that 9 times out of 10 I didn't have the time or the energy to study anyway. So going to community college was kind of the same thing. They repeated it so many times that it was almost like high school. I didn't need to study or anything like that. And if I did need to study, it was probably like the 5 or 10 minutes before the actual test or before the quiz. And I'm really good at kind of memorizing a short list of things. So, I mean, I did well on my test. So I wasn't thinking anything of it. But when I moved to the university, that's where all of the material that they gave you in class, only about maybe 45% of it was taught in lecture. The rest you had to go and learn on your own or pick up other resources that they gave you to understand the information better. I wasn't familiar with how to do that or how to apply that technique, so literally I crashed and burned. So that, coupled with not wanting to be in biology, coupled with a new experience of actually being on a university and having a little bit more freedom with when to go to class, if I want to go to class, and then I joined a sorority and I had obligations for that. We had social engagements and things like that that I was really interested in. So all of that took a toll on me, and then I was still working. So all of that took a toll it took a part in playing why I did not succeed when I finally got to a university. So it got to the point to where I was really unhappy with where I was, and I went into a little bit of a depression, and it took me a while to understand that that was a period of depression for me. So I withdrew from school for a little bit, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Talked to my mom a lot. My mom's a nurse, so I talked to her a lot about what I wanted to do, and she suggested nursing. Now, she did suggest this beforehand, a few years beforehand, but in my mind, I wanted to go to medical school, and that was the plan all along. Then I realized how much work needed to be put behind going to medical school or getting in the first place. And I realized that I needed to change my priorities and change my plan, because what I was doing wouldn't get me there, and I wasn't sure that I was willing to put in all of the effort it took to get me there. So decided to go to nursing school. First semester of nursing school was a shock to the system, because nursing school is not like any other school. It's very fast paced, it's a lot of information at once, and the tests are extremely hard. Now, I'll say this. In the beginning, I thought they were extremely hard. Now I have a little bit of a different opinion. I feel like they're manageable, but still challenging. So, the reason why I failed my first semester is because everything was so new to me. I, of course, still didn't know how to study. I didn't know how to apply the information, and they kept telling us that we needed to critically think. They didn't tell us what it meant to critically think. They didn't tell us how to find out what it means to critically think. So it was like all up in the air, figure it out yourself, here are the tests. That's what I felt like what was happening to me. And repeating first semester, I realized how much information, repeating first semester, I realized how much information was already in front of me if I had just heeded everybody's warning to read the book and do the SLOs. The SLOs told you exactly where to go in the book to get the information, and exactly what paragraph to get the information from. That was literally the test. Now, I'll say that yes, I could have passed first level if I would have read the book and done the SLOs, but also everything was so new to me and it was a culture shock that, I don't know, I got caught up. I got caught up in everything. And then I was also trying to make sure that I passed my other two courses that I was taking online at my community college. So this is the way it works. My community college is the main college, and my nursing school is basically an umbrella under that. So we go by the nursing school, but we're under that community college's name, if that makes sense. I try not to give out too much information about the actual name of the college and things like that, just to kind of keep a little bit of privacy. For right now, I'm not going to say the name, but so I was already taking two classes, A&P, which are a little bit more difficult classes because there's a lot of memorization. There's a lot of application questions. So that's a lot to study for by itself. Then to add on two nursing courses where you're brand new, you don't really know how to answer these questions. You don't even know what kind of questions they're going to throw at you. You don't know how to study. It was a lot. It was a lot. So I ended up passing my two AP courses barely, and I ended up failing my two nursing courses. I actually started out well in pharm, but what happened is at the end of the semester I got so stressed out and worried about catching up in nursing that I kind of let pharm sit on the back burner too often, and I wasn't able to kind of catch back up in pharm. Now, my second semester, that's a little bit of what happened this past semester also. I started off okay in nursing. I started off okay in pharm. I started off really well in my special pops class, which was psych. 3 classes at once is a lot. You might not think it's a lot, but when you get into nursing, 3 nursing classes at once is a ton of work. You have to plan out your study. There's really no time to socialize as much as you want, and that's the part that it was hard for me to give up, which is probably why I didn't study as much and I was kind of getting behind. So towards the end of the semester, around say the 3rd test, maybe maybe a month and a half till finals, I learned a technique from one of my classmates. She studied pretty much every day, about 3 to 4 hours every day. I did that and implemented that on one test, and I did really well on that one test. But here's the thing. After that third test, the next week I had form, the second test of form. And because I had exerted myself so much for that third nursing test, I was wiped out and exhausted mentally. Like, it felt like I really couldn't study for form. So that's where the second form test kind of went wrong. Then psych was kind of easier for me to catch on to, and I hate to say it like this, but it was kind of common sense for me. I know that everybody doesn't feel that way, and I don't mean to make anybody feel bad if they don't catch on to psych, because everybody has their strong suits in different subjects and things like that. But that's the only reason why I felt like I did well in psych. So again, studied so much for nursing to try and catch up and get a good grade on that third test that I let form slip, and that second test kind of killed me. So I needed a 98 on the final to pass. So literally I could only miss 1 or 2 questions on the final, and I got a good grade on the final. I got an 86 on the final, but of course it wasn't what I needed to pass the class. Had I just paid a little bit more attention, a little bit more study time towards farm, I could have passed that class. Even if I would have got, I think I failed farm by 4 questions, I believe. So if I would have got 2 questions on that first test and 2 questions on the second test, I would have passed farm. And that was kind of devastating at the end, because I was like, I'm really good at memorizing things. I need time to memorize it, but I'm really good at memorizing things. So farm should not have been a class that I failed. It definitely shouldn't have been a class that I failed twice. The farm 1 and farm 2. So I was really disappointed in myself. I start off the semester really strong, and then towards the end it's just like you get very mentally drained and tired, and you start to kind of lose motivation because you feel like you're stagnant, and all you just see in test after test after test after test, and you feel like, 1, it's never going to end, and 2, you're not getting anywhere. So, and then what also with me seeing my test grades from nursing, it was kind of discouraging me, because it wasn't like I was failing them by a lot, maybe 1 or 2 questions, maybe 3 questions at most, but I still wasn't passing them, which kind of broke my spirit a little bit throughout the semester, and it impacted how I studied from there on for the other classes. It's a disappointing thing to fail a class, but at the end of the day, you just really have to pick yourself up and remember why you started this, remember what you're going to get out of this, and remember that school is only temporary. Yes, I might have delayed graduation for a year and a half, but I know I'm going to get there. I know that I have people behind me rooting for me. I know I have people that I can reach out to and call on to help me get through it. So that's just life. That's just nursing. That's nursing. And I think that most people won't understand it, which is why it's so hard for me to talk about it to people who are not in nursing school, because you can kind of see their disappointment, especially when they want it for you so bad and want you to get there. So it's kind of, that's a little discouraging in itself, and it makes you feel a little bit more disappointed in yourself that you feel like you're letting somebody down. But I had to be real with people and say, hey, this is nursing. It's like you won't understand how difficult it is and everything that I'm going through, all the emotions I'm going through, unless you're in nursing school. So, but anyway guys, I hope I kept this short. I'm not sure how long I've been filming this for. I'm gonna try and edit a few pieces out so that it's a little bit more concise. But please, please, please leave me comments. It can be encouraging words. I want other people to be able to see it, read it, and take some inspiration from it, some encouragement from it. Also, you can definitely leave questions on how much I work in nursing school, what classes am I taking right now, what prerequisites I had to take to get in nursing school, how did I apply, how did I choose the school that I wanted to apply to. Definitely all of the questions. I want y'all to blow up the comment section, because I know that this is a subject that people don't touch on a lot, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to be very open and raw and honest, because I don't want anybody to feel like I feel like I'm alone in failing so many times. But the journey is definitely going to be worth it at the end, and this has definitely got to be God's plan for me if it is this difficult. So anyway guys, don't forget to like, share, comment, and make sure you definitely subscribe. We definitely appreciate all of the support from you guys, and it is y'all that has us so excited and continuously making videos. When we first started this channel, we weren't sure that it was gonna be a hit. We weren't sure what we were gonna talk about, what we're gonna do, and if you guys even would be interested. So literally, this channel is your channel. This is y'all's channel. So thank you guys so much. So much. Every comment I see just makes me smile, and I love when you guys share your experiences in the comments. It's definitely something that I'm very grateful for, and it's very humbling. So anyway, I am gonna go. I have work tonight, actually for the next 3 days, so I'm gonna go ahead and get some sleep, because I just came from my second job. I'm within my 2 weeks notice right now, so it won't be too much, but I am a little sleepy because I had to get up early this morning. So I am going to head to sleep and start this work week off. So see you guys later. Bye.